In this week's Bleach, Gayzen explains his powers.
I am nature's greatest miracle!
Bleach Chapter 602, Bane Lick Good, begins with an explanation of what a lethal dose is and how too much of something can kill someone based on its quantity. Askin goes on to say,
"Many of you know me as the gay guy."
His letter is D for death dealing, and he can calculate the perfect lethal dose and can control the quantity freely. Nehemiah doesn't fully understand, but Askin says it was hard for him to figure out too, but it's fine because he's about to die anyway.
I deserve answers, and I have a right to know!
With one lick of the blood on his hands, Nehemiah goes down.
I don't have any legs, Ron. I don't even know how I'm standing up. No.
He is now lowering the lethal dose of blood in his body, which will lead to his death the more it fills up. He says it must be very painful for him. He tells him he can relate to the pain as he takes a big gulp of the blood.
This is turning me on. We need porno music. Hit it!
Askin believes he was underestimated based on his appearance and mannerisms, but he doesn't care as he's convinced himself that they're actually his good points. He pulls out his bow and calls it one of his lethal points. Nehemiah looks like he's out, but he thanks Askin for explaining as he cuts himself.
That's it, I'm out of here.
But suddenly he disappears within the geyser of blood he let out.
Where are you?
Here.
Askin dodges his attack, and Nehemiah deduces that if he lowers the amount of lethal blood in his body, he'll be okay.
You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
Based on his weight, Nehemiah has about 4 liters of blood, but Askin says if he loses half, he'll die of blood loss. And his current lethal dose is at 1.6 liters, meaning if he doesn't lose enough blood to die, he's gonna be killed by it.
I couldn't make this shit up. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. I'm sad that I lack the talent to make this shit up.
Nehemiah realizes the predicament he's in, but calls upon Korinji, who releases a massive tidal wave.
I am so fucked!
He asks if he saw from the shadows Korinji's hot springs that squeeze out blood and Ryotsu, but that was the white water. This red water replaces the blood lost and replaces it with new blood.
Hey, you see something? You know you don't fucked up.
And with that, Nehemiah is healthy and slices right through Askin.
I think I just shot myself.
Now that he is reborn, Nehemiah thinks he may be more cool than he was before.
Maybe you should shut up.
Askin recalls about how he thought he was underestimated when in actuality, he was the one who underestimated his opponent. He declares that this strike was lethal.
I fucked up.
Nehemiah then turns his attention to Bach, who is fully ready for a fight.
Your ass is grass, and I'm gonna mow it.
Leave me alone.
Not a huge fan of this chapter. Gayzen spent the entire time explaining his powers and how Nehemiah was going to die because of him and his lethal doses, thus giving Nehemiah all the time in the world to strategize and figure out all he needed was Korinji's help with his blood water. And with one swipe, another Stern Ritter gets one-shotted instead of participating in an awesome fight. We've known about Askin for a while now, and I think a lot of people were expecting more of him. And his power was actually really cool, being able to produce lethal amounts of anything, but he was rushed, and in one chapter he had his power explained and then died. Gayzen, why didn't you just shut up and let your enemy die?
Because I'm an idiot. Happy?
And now Nehemiah is reborn, as he put it, and ready to fight Bach. His hand started to glow when Nehemiah challenged him, so I'm wondering what kind of attack he has planned. I think we may see him use some of the powers of Stern Ritters who have died, since he absorbs the souls of those who he's given power to. Either that, or he'll use Zanka no Tachi at some point and more than likely break the cage. Or Hoshwalth's just gonna jump in and prevent him from making any sort of attack. But again, Nehemiah could have a Shikai and Bankai for the Zanpakuto that could prove impressive. Whatever happens will be a hell of a lot more satisfying than what this chapter gave us.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm gonna give this chapter a 5.5 out of 10. Gayzen is dead for over-explaining himself. Nehemiah is now cockier than ever, but Bach is ready to take him on. For my question of the week, how do you see Nehemiah versus Bach going down? Will it be much of a fight, or will Ishida and Hoshwalth intervene? My favorite comments will be featured in the next review. Here are last week's winners. That does it for me. Remember to leave your thoughts on the chapter and answer to my question in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more weekly Bleach chapter reviews. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter, Hummingbird, or DeviantArt. Links always in the description. I'll be back next week with Bach's Fight. Peace.